everyone, I thought it would be really fun to do this very pretty design from, oops, let me just turn it over, it's from Die Welt Unter der Lupe. So yes, it's a big mouthful, isn't it, from Rita Berman. I'm sure it's really good if you understand the German, but I know it's under the water and we're looking at it through a microscope, but it's tricky to say. Now I've decided that using my Castle Art Seascape set might be really good for this picture. Now obviously these are underwater sort of florals. I think they're probably anemones, maybe, sea anemones. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to have a go at colouring some of them. I'm not going to be able to do the whole page, but I'm going to zoom in. There we go. I'm going to do this middle one first. Now the centre of these, I've decided that I'm going to do them all in a black and grey. What I want to try and do is to make them look like they are domed, so that this bit is closer to us than this bit. So they look almost spherical. They're not spherical, they'd be like half a sphere because it would be flat underneath. But that's what I want to try and do. Now, but I also want to try and make each one of these look like they're also spherical. So I'm going to experiment and I'm going to hope it works because I've told you my plan and I can't pretend I'm just trying to do something else. So I'm going to start with my black. In this set we have the Ivory Black. I'm not sure if you can read it, maybe down there where there's a bit less glare. Okay, and I'm going to start on the outside, and what I'm going to do is for each circle I'm going to go harder on the outside and lighter towards the middle. I don't need to leave any white in the middle, but I can if I want, and I just want it to be lighter. So the art of doing this is to go around the very outside a few times and then less times as you come towards the middle. So hopefully you can see that I am doing that. Now the cast lights are quite delicate. They don't go down really dark. They can do if you layer them up. I don't like that one, there's a little gap. But I don't mind that. I don't want it to be as black as the black ink. I don't need it to be that dark. So I'm just going around the very outside layer first. As you can see, oops, I'll do that one as well. I'm just going around each of them. Now I haven't looked up whether these really are sea anemones, and if they are, what colour they should be. I just decided I thought we would just do bright and vibrant really. The Seascape set has lots of nice purples, greens, even the pink and red in there, and an orange, so we've got a nice range of different colours, so I think it's ideal. I just grabbed this set because it's a little bit smaller. Sometimes it's easier to have less choice. I do have the 72 set where I get more choice of colour, but I just also thought, well, under the sea, what better set to use. So now I've done a layer around the outside. I might do that one as well. It's not like really important to get it exactly spot on. What I want to do now as I move towards the middle is lessen my colour, because I think you might be able to see that before it looked like it was slightly domed. Now it doesn't, because of the fact that this outside bit is coloured. So what I want to do now is to still try and get that spherical look, but have less black. So we're starting to fade that colour on this row, or well, it's not a row, is it? Circle sort of thing. Now I'm going to go and use a grey in a minute to really reduce the colour. But for this particular circle, it is really, isn't it, not row, I'm going to keep using my black, but just use less of it. And it's a little bit more difficult to get that spherical look when you're using less black, but I'm trying to still do a little more on the outside than the inside. That one's huge. I think I might do this one, but not that huge one. Like that. Now I'm going to grab the grey. We've got, just looking what we've got here. We've got a Davies grey, which is quite brown, but I'm going to use this Paynes Gray, which is a more blacky grey, I suppose. I'm just going to tidy those up. They look a little bit messy. I'm going to go in with this big one. Now I don't know how much pressure I'm going to need to put down, because I need to have a look at the colour. That's quite a lot lighter, isn't it? So I'm going to push quite hard around that edge and put a few more layers in, because although I want it lighter, I don't want it that much lighter yet, because we're not right at the centre. Hopefully you can begin to see that that is a little bit different to the black, and it's looking a bit lighter. Now we've got our central bit, which I want to be even lighter, so I'm doing less layers here. There we go. I think that's okay. I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. And what I am going to do is do the same as that with all of the others. If you want that to be easier, you can just colour round in black and then less and then round in brown, and just overlap all the circles and not have them looking like individual spheres, and it'll be a lot quicker. It's up to you. Right, the outside here now, I'm gonna, my favourite purple is in this set, so it's jumped into my hand. This is the Purple Lake Deep, and I'm going to show you how to do these. Are very tentacle-like, I think. What I want to do is I want to make them darker here towards the centre of the plant, and then less towards the end, like that. So just fade it. Now I make that sound easy, I realise it isn't. What you need to do is to do a lot of layers here and then start to reduce the amount of layers as you go. If you get it looking uneven, let's say I do it hard here and then light here, and look, it looks quite uneven there. Just go, we've got a gap here with no colour at all and a gap down here. Don't worry about that, and don't leave it. Come back in with your pencil and gently cover up that little gap there and that bit, and smooth it a little bit just by gently adding more layers until it looks like you want it. Another key is to not press too hard to start with, and then you can, you've got a line. Is that something behind the page? I don't know what that is. It's like there's something under the page causing that line, I'm not sure. I'm going to go in a bit darker there and colour over it. Sometimes there's a tiny flaw in the paper. I've never had that in one of Rita's books before, and it can cause a little line. So we're just going all the way around really, doing the same thing with each bit. I'm going to do some of these in between. Now this I want to be a little bit darker because it's sort of underneath. If you find you can't get it as dark as you want just with the pencil you're using, you can go in with a darker shade. Now this is our darkest purple. We do have some ultramarine which might darken it up, and we have black. So what you can do, I would do, is to practice, get your scrapbook out, your sketchbook out, or some scrap paper, and mix up the colours and see what you think looks best, whether you think a black darkens it better or whether you like a blue with it. Just play with it, see what works before you then go into your book and do it, because you might be disappointed in the result and then you're committed once it's in your book, aren't you? So there we go. You can see how I'm trying to make them look like the ones underneath are a bit darker where they would be in the shade, and these are a bit lighter but still going from light to dark through the through each one. So what I'm going to do, my plan for this whole page, is to do, as I said, I'm going to do the centres all the same, but I'm going to do each of the little plants in a different colour. So we've got quite a few actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so about 17 there. So I'm looking at my Castle Arts, I've got I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-ish colours. If I want to do greens, there's as well. But I've got quite a few browns in this set, and I'm not sure if I want to do any brown. So I may end up breaking into another set to get a few different colours. I mean, you could stick to a colour family. So you could do purples, pinks and blues are always really pretty together. You could do just purple. You could do them all the same. Or you could do different shades of purple. You could just do purple and pink. It just depends on what you like, really. I sometimes find if I do a big rainbow range, it can look a bit of a mess. But I don't think it will with this because of the way the page is been drawn. Sometimes if I've got a flower page with lots of different types of flowers and I do them all different colours, that's when it can look a bit messy. But I think if we've got consistent centres of each flower and we've got the sort of, each one is just a different sort of colour and they're the same shape, I think that might help us to make it look a bit less messy. But I will decide as I colour whether I want to stick to a similar colour family or not. And what I'll do is, because this is taking me a while, I won't do the whole page obviously on camera. So what I'll do is I will finish it and share a picture. Now I might not finish it before I edit this video because quite a lot on this week. I will always make sure I do a bit of colouring each day, but whether I'll have, now here that bit of the petal there belongs to this plant. So you need to be a little bit careful when you're colouring, making sure, because although we have an eraser, colour pencil can stain the page. It's not always erased particularly well. So anyway, so I might not get it done before I edit this video because I've got a lot of work on. As I say, I colour every day, but I might not get time to do a picture this big. I'm actually in the middle of a picture from Johanna Bastard's Magical Jungle at the moment, which I want to get finished tonight if I can. And then I've got another page to do in 30 Days of Creativity that I started in a video. I need to finish to get a picture that I promised to put up. So a lot going on, but I will make sure it does get done, and it will be up on my Instagram page. There's a link in the description to all my social media channels. I tend to share everything I put on Instagram with my Pinterest, just because I know sometimes it's difficult. If you haven't got an Instagram account, you can't just view people's things. I'm trying to work out what's going on here. I think that's from this plant. I think it's only that one that's from here. So I put it on Pinterest as well because you don't have to have an account on Pinterest to view it. I actually said exactly this on my last video, which you may have watched and you think, oh, she's on again. I do have a website. I don't share my pictures on there very much, and rarely actually. I save that for social media. On my website I do share all my tutorial videos. On a Saturday I put up an article which, if I remember, otherwise it's a bit late, I put up an article which links to all of the tutorial videos I've put up on that particular week. So if you've missed any, you can go to my blog and you can have a look at the article and check what I've been doing. So that's, I always think that's quite useful for you. I haven't checked my website stats for ages, so I don't know if people are looking at it. I also do, I'm going to go up here, my arm's aching from being twisted around there. I would normally turn the book, but because I'm leaning on another book, it's going to be messy if I turn, because we're near the end of the book here, and so if I twist the book, I've got, so I haven't got much book behind this page, so I put another book underneath it, so if I twist it's going to be messy. I released an article last week actually on how to choose a colouring page, which I thought might be quite helpful. I know some people struggle. I know I read somewhere, I'm just going to sharpen my pencil, someone said, oh, Johanna's 30 days of creativity, she says to do 10 minutes a day, which I think is fantastic. I think it's a nice minimum to aim for, and if you want to do more and have time for more, that's brilliant. Anyway, they said it takes me 10 minutes to choose a colouring page, and then another choose a book, and then another 10 minutes to choose the page to do. So, you know, so my article, which was written before I saw this comment, but I just thought, oh, I timed that well coming out with that article, gives you sort of tips and tricks on how to choose a book and how to choose a page. Some are a bit more random than others, but I've got that. I have review articles as well, because I do review things on my channel, but sometimes people like to see things written down. And also, I tend to write my reviews quite a long time after I record a review as soon as I receive an item, so basically it's my first time of using it. But I write my reviews later once I've coloured some pictures using those items, so it's much better for you. You can see what I've done with it and what it looks like when I've used it, and I can add in anything that I've noticed since I've been using them for a while. Because when you've got a new set and you're all excited, whether someone's gifted it to you, sent it you for free, I'm very lucky, I do get that, or whether I bought it myself, I want it to be really good, and I'm really excited, you know, particularly if someone's gifted me, because that's just absolutely amazing and so generous and humbling and exciting. So I always feel really excited doing the review, so I'm sort of really positive. Whereas once I've used them for a while, I haven't ever had anything that I've gone, oh, that was rubbish, you know, nothing ever. But sometimes I might have a little tip, you know, like certain, like I might find the pencils work with a specific pencil sharpener, or they're best for certain paper, or things like that I notice. It's like I have noticed that I've recently been gifted some Arteza pencils, and I've noticed they're quite soft, which I find is really nice in thinner paper books. I've got some books which are Amazon printed, so they're on like copy paper, and I find those Artezas work really well on that paper because they slide nicely, effortlessly, don't dent the paper or anything like that. I am so sorry, my telephone rang, and so I've had to cut myself off and sort of edit the chop a bit out of the video. I've just noticed though, coming back to my desk, that bit which I thought belonged to a different plant, I'm pretty sure is this one. So I don't know where I was at, because I haven't replayed what I recorded for fear of accidentally deleting it or something silly. But I think I was just filling in a few areas to make it look a bit darker underneath. But to be honest, I'm really pleased with how that looks. I think the Castle Arts do a really good job. So I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to do any of the others because it's going to go on for too long, but I thought that would be a nice way for you to get going, and then you can pick what colours you want for the rest. And as I think I probably said, it's been on the phone a long time, I will post a picture of the completed one once I finish it. It may take me a little while, but we'll see. But there we go. Thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.